You know how I knew it was time for me to come back to the pod? I was just standing in the mirror. I was picking my face. I was trying to put makeup on and my skin was not having it. And then I sweat so much. I did my hair, but I sweat so much I had to put my hair up. And I sweat through 2 different outfits. And then I got a cold sore. So all in all, I have never been better, and it's time for us to get into it. And I'm back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Indulge Me Season 2. Let's call it that. I am back. I am your host with the most things to say, and that is me, Stacey McGunnigle. Hello, how are you? I know. I freaking know. You don't even have to say it, but I want you to, because boundaries and opinions are important. Give it to me and give it to me straight. Okay, Janine, I give you space. Where have I gone? Where have I been? You probably have more interesting things to say, but I've spent enough money on the mic, so let's get into it. Let's proceed. So where did we leave off? Well, we left off with season 1 of Indulge Me, which, let me tell you, was my pride and joy, my lover of loves, my most favorite thing to do. Like, there is nothing better in this world than a woman coming up to you and being like, I dig what you're doing. A whisper, a chant, a gorgeous song in the wind that says, I like what you do. I enjoy what you do. The honor of me being in your ear while you are going about your day, washing a dish, ignoring a child, walking a dog, being in your car that you pay for. However you're indulging in Indulge Me, I do not take it lightly. And so let me tell you, doing the pod has been, oh my God, because I love to podcast, and I really got myself into a pickle because we did a couple of episodes, we had fun, and then I was starting my next season at This Hour is 22 Minutes in Halifax. And I thought, let's bring the gang. Let's bring the mic. Let's bring the stand and the buttons and the camera. I can do it all. No problem. No muss, no fuss. Did I ask for help? No. No, I didn't. Did I put systems in place, like getting an editor? I don't think that happened either. So I certainly did fall behind, and that is because I love to do this thing where I take on too many things and I ghost. And then I ghost like a haunted old lady. I just, in my nightgown, off I go. I love to overpromise and ghost. There is nothing more satisfying. Oh, for someone like myself who loves a bit of chaos. Don't we love chaos? I do. And so overpromising and ghosting is truly one of my most favorite things to do, because there's nothing better than just constantly having a cloud of stress and anxiety hanging over you at all times about the things you should be doing, the promises you made, and the events that you at some point in your life agreed to be attending. And then you have to worry and stress about all of that and then do none of it. And then hide under your covers and pretend no one notices. And they do. They do. So I'm trying not to do that. I'm putting systems in place. I've made a list. Okay. I've made a list. That's like half the battle. A written list in a notebook that I've placed somewhere in the house. But I will come upon it. And we will suss it out. But we're back. I've never felt more appropriate. We're back on the YouTubes as well. And I have to remind myself when you're starting something that it needs to evolve. So are you seeing the most glitzy, glammy YouTube set? No. But are you seeing my wonderful Rachel Parsons art that I simply and utterly cannot get over? A woman getting sunburnt, smoking a cigarette, having a martini? Yes, you're seeing that. And that's got to be enough. I was trying to pick out an outfit for the pod because, like I said, there's so much to dish about. I have made lists as I've been walking around the city contemplating my return. So I was like, I should look good. I should look good for the group. And I just want to walk you through what happened. So I did do my hair. Now you'll notice if you're watching this, and we're going to get into it. She's got extensions, guys. She's got the longest extensions I've ever had. They're 18 inches long. It's for a gig, and she's new. I'm a new woman. I don't even know what to do with this hair. This is a lot of hair. And so I tried to do it for you guys. And there's nothing more humbling than doing your hair in the summer. The bravery and audacity of doing your hair in the summer with the intention of it being down. That is Oscar level insanity. It's Oscar level delusion. And here we are doing it. And I wish you could have seen my attempt at a soft curl in June. A soft curl in June. What are we to do with that? But there I was soft curling it, and I knew halfway through the head it was not going to happen. The roots were already greasing. The dry, shampoo was not taking. And so I had to call it. And because of that, I also sweat through my shirt. And so then I was like, do I just do a pajama? And then I settled on this sort of oversized Wham Christmas t-shirt. And I thought, let's maybe put a gold chain from Amazon on to show the Gen Zs that I'm seeing and I'm hearing. I don't know if it's working, but this is it. This is what we've got. We try. The summer will taketh. I love the summer. I love nothing more than an easy breezy summer, a park, sitting in a park with a blanket because I can't with the ants, but having a little beverage, a legal taste, a little Sauv Blanc betwixt some grass. There's nothing better. I love the summer. I love my little walks. I love my little things. But beauty in the summer requires a pivot. It requires a pivot. It requires lightness. It requires truth. It does require a true conversation between yourself and the glamour that you so choose. And it couldn't have come at a better time because I experienced a fall and winter rut. I don't know how y'all are feeling. I'm 38, loud and proud. And I'll tell you, I'm in a rut. Fashion wise, you bet your ass. You bet your bottom dollar. I'm in a goddamn rut. And I experienced this year, a whole change in my skin texture, my tone, my face. I believe it is starting to melt genetically. So we're really keeping tabs on the jowl. So this year has been kind of like, I feel like out of sorts in a way of like style, body, beauty, like all the products that seem to work are like no longer working, which is great for the pod because I've got tons of new recommendations that I need to force down your throat more than ever. But also I'm like, what do I do? And now I'm in the summer. Okay. I'm cross-legged right now on this podcast in a crock. I don't regret it, but it's like if someone were, gun to head, we have to go to a fancy dinner tonight, I would have to weep. I would cry and I would have to miss that dinner because there's no way I'm making a reservation in my current state with what shirt, with what pant, with what fucking shoe. Okay. Because you get on the TikTok, as I'm known to do, because addictions are real and I can't get off the damn app, but, you get on TikTok and you see all these like fit checks, which I think are really just people putting on a jacket on top of their outfit and calling it a fit. But, you see all these people with style and they claim it's from Amazon and they claim that it's easy. But I find that when I'm throwing it on, I sort of look like Joey from Friends when he puts on everything that Chandler wears. It seems boxy. It seems overfilled. It doesn't seem loose and casual like the Gen Zs are making it look. So I'm trying the oversized shirts. I'm trying the boxer short trend, which is, I'm not buying the boxer shorts. I am buying an Old Navy linen short. I'll report back, but I'm not loving it. I had to got to go to the Canadian Screen Awards this year. The show 22 Minutes was nominated, which was really exciting and fun. And it required an outfit. Oh, isn't that fun? Because there's nothing more fun than going to a department store to find a dress. Did I work with a stylist? No, I did not. Did I know that was an option? No. I know people do, but how do you go about it? But I took my little ass to the bay. And it was warm and it was hot. And I made a huge mistake where I went after the gym because I'm unwell, it seems. But I went to the Bay, which is a big department store, and was trying on gowns that made me so sad. So sad. And so I gave up. And I think we can all relate and understand to each other when you are in the change room and you're done. It's the last zipper that won't zip. It's the overhead lighting accentuating your tits dragging down south. Okay. I didn't know my nipples could go that low. And there they were at the Toronto Eaton Centre Bay. Upstairs, 3rd floor, dress shop. The fitting rooms were hell. It felt apocalyptic. Where was everybody? Okay, there was just a couple of vacant rooms and damaged shoes holding the doors open. So the vibes were not immaculate by any stretch of the imagination. And there I was, shoving and pushing and contorting myself to get into these gowns and then to try and zip them up solo. And it was not great. And I knew immediately that it was not going to be a successful trip just based on all of that logistic. Nothing was fitting. Nothing was right. I feel like the sales associate started noticing that I was near breakdown and sort of checked in on me in a way that's like, "Are you all right, ma'am?" I had to leave. Dark day. And there's nothing like leaving your outfit choice to the last minute and then having to go to Zara hoping for help. Don't ever do that. If you are ever in need of a last minute outfit, call a friend. Don't go to Zara quickly. You're just going to pop into Zara? Huh? No, there's no way. Popping into Zara, there's nothing there. There's nothing that exists. I was holding onto fabrics, wondering what they were. Were they a shirt? Were they a skirt? What were they? At one point, I was just holding a pile of sequins. Okay. And I couldn't make heads or tails as to what it was. I believe it was maybe a bandeau. Either way, if you are a size 12, you know, good luck, sister, because if there are sizes available, they're plucked, and as they should be. If you can find something in Zara, you freaking take it. I felt bad because I was looking and found a jacket at the back of a rack that I knew a woman had hid. I knew that this woman was like, "I'm thinking about this and I'm going to come back to it, but I'm going to hide it." And I want to apologize to that woman because I found it. And I did purchase it because as a woman with huge, heavy little naturals like I got, if you can find a vest that's going to hold them, you got to take it. So I did find your treasure and I'm so sorry. For the awards, I had to go day to night. I realized I didn't have to go day to night. I could have gone home and changed like many people did. However, I didn't believe that was available to me, which is a regret because it was warm out and I was attempting the soft curls and they did fall. I had to steal a random information card from a table and fan myself for about 20 minutes upon arrival. So the curls did fall. And, but all I could find from Zara was a sequin skirt and a blazer. Now, in person, I think it worked. The photos, on the other hand, give pause, give question. And I think we've all been there where we know in person it works. It's not photographing well. But the memories live on forever, don't they? And it really just validates that I am in a fashion rut. So if anyone has clothes, or shopping tips and tricks, please send them my way. I will share them with the group. Right now, the only places I'm finding success, honestly, and you know that I praise this high and low, Old Navy, although I think I'll tackle this in another episode because I want to do a whole episode on where you shop now when you're like in your 30s. Like, where do you go? What do you do? I just had to take a second and redo my hair. If you're watching this on YouTube, please pray for me when it comes out because it's going to need to be brushed for like 9 hours. But it's sort of reminding me of the Jersey Shore. So for that, I'm going to allow, but damn, it's going to be, it's going to be a long night. Okay. I want to do an episode about where we're shopping because I think everyone's like where, what, who, how, where, how much. Because I just did an Old Navy order and I had to send it all back. It was not good. And so right now it's like Zara, Mango, Old Navy. Like, what are people doing? Help me. I cannot, like, I'm loving the first episode just being absolutely insane. Like, this hair is so crazy. What new follower is gonna is gonna check this YouTube channel and be like, oh yeah, this woman with this insane hair, let's listen to her. Oh, she's gonna give me product recommendations. Let's listen to her. It seems like it's all going well. Okay, so something I saw that was so wild that I wanted to share that blew my damn mind was I was driving, or let's get it together. I was walking down the street and in kind of like a cool neighborhood in Toronto. Now, there's no implication that I was cool in the neighborhood, but I just want to provide context for you. It's full of like hot, cool scenesters, like everyone's hot, okay? And there I was in my Old Navy best, and I go to cross the street, and this kind of like rundown car, but in a cool way, sort of pulls up to me. And I look in, and the car is full of 4 hot, young nuns. Pardon me? Yes, hot, young nuns. What the hell? I literally stopped. I stopped in my tracks, in my ungodly tracks, and peered in. I was not even trying to come across like I was looking at something else. No, I was looking at these hot young nuns. I couldn't believe it. They were hot as hell. One of them was in the back seat was wearing Raybans. And they were dressed as like, you know, in Sister Act with the one sister who's like not fully committed to being a nun yet. And she gets to wear like the cuter outfit, like the little dresses and like the little like headpiece. They were kind of dressed like her, like light blue. I was loving it. The tailoring was immaculate. They looked cool as shit. They didn't have tattoos, but they might as well have had like cool tattoos and like telling me, cool restaurants I've never heard of and, bragging about their amazing thrift finds. Like they were cool. And I stood there the whole red light, staring at them. And I just thought, in this economy, young, hot nuns, are we seeing this? This seems crazy to me. I wanted to tell them how hot they were. I wanted to oddly objectify, to be like, are you sure? Like, you're really cool. You're really hot. What do you don't drive to the church. What a wild thing to perceive. Because the nuns I see in my neighborhood or out and about in Toronto, they're usually older, they're soft little beige shoes walking around. But young, hot nuns. What a wild thing to view. Send me your thoughts on the young hot nuns. I think the thing for me that really was like quite shocking was seeing these nuns in Raybans. Like, here I am, as I've expressed to you today, I'm in a fashion rut. I think my fear is quality over quantity. So I don't have good sunglasses. Like, I continue to be influenced by TikTok and buy $15 sunglasses from Amazon, and they always look bad. And I know if I just went to get Raybans, they would last and they would look good. So, maybe my shock and awe was just seeing nuns living a life that right now I'm not giving myself access to. I don't know. But a hot young nun in Raybans, shocking. Wild. I hope they're okay. I hope they're at a kegger or something and really questioning things. I hope they're good. Okay, so as you know, my greatest love in all the land is not only bossing people around and being like, buy this, do this. I'm also, a reality TV sommelier. And since we've been off air, since Indulge Me has taken a little nap, so much great TV has happened, and I would be remiss if we didn't go over it. Now, I do have some hot takes, so I do ask for love and affection and space to articulate. And as always, this is a community and we are open for conversation. So please send your comments in this chat if you're listening on YouTube or, the Instagrams, and let's get into the discourse. First up, let's talk about Vanderpump Rules. Okay, so we all lived through Scandal. Now, I want to apologize to anyone who is just catching up now to Scandal because it'll never feel as good and as fraught as it did in real time. It's like when you catch up on White Lotus or now you're finally watching Succession. It's like you're never going to get the spice that we all enjoyed because we were enjoying it together. But I do recommend, if you have never watched Vanderpump Rules and you want to dip your toe into reality TV, it is sort of one of the most canon shows that you can watch. These people were real friends. They really worked in the restaurant. They were all actors, musicians, models, what have you. They were all really scratching 30 and above. And it truly was the best reality TV there was. They are absolute trash bags. Okay, so none of these people are super likable, which is frankly, and here's the hot take, this is where it begins. That's the point of reality TV, is not always to see good people doing good things and great things happen. It's fighting, it's cheating, it's vices, it's substance, it's arguing, it's stealing, Jax with the sunglasses. It's mug shots. It's all of those things. And so if that ain't your bag, baby, that's what the library's for. And I love that for you. And get there. I hear great things about it. But for me, reality TV is all about looking and following these sort of like trash bag humans. Because we all see a bit of ourselves in all of them, don't we? Now, that being said, Scandal happened. It rocked our world. Vanderpump Rules was a dying franchise. Dying. The last couple of seasons were brutal. Nobody worked at the restaurant anymore. Like the whole gone were the days. So Vanderpump Rules was like a dying breed. Like we weren't watching it anymore. It was no longer good. No one worked at the restaurant anymore. Everyone lived in the valley. And then, we knew sort of Katie and Schwartz were on the downward spiral. They get divorced. Nobody frankly cared. Like it really didn't pick up. Like no one, like the audience really didn't take to it. It didn't become a huge storyline, and it gets overshadowed by Scandival. Tom Sandoval cheats on Ariana, and here we are today with this current season where everyone's kissing Ariana's ass, and Ariana really isn't doing much on the show. There is the hot take. Now, two things can be argued here, and I've heard from many podcasts that I follow and people who are so much more in the Bravo world than I am, but I really do feel the fandom in the internet is like, it's really ruining reality television, because when we're talking about reality TV, we are talking about two things. There's two ways you can talk about it. You can talk about it as, these are real people and this is their real life, which is true. But then we can also talk about the machine and the mechanisms and what is needed for the success of the reality television portion of this. I don't know if that makes sense, but let me digress. This season of Vanderpump Rules only works if everyone talks to Tom Sandoval. Okay? Everyone cannot ice him out, because the most interesting thing to see is Tom Sandoval interacting with the entire cast. Now, Ariana in real life, if she was our friend, I would be like, never talk to that guy again. He's a piece of shit. And he is a piece of shit. But I'm like, you're on a reality television show. You live with this man. You're trying to steal his assistant, Anne. All of this is happening, and you are refusing to talk to him. And not only are you refusing to talk to him, you're really refusing to provide any sort of storyline at all. And so in many ways, I am Team Lala, which has shocked a lot of people. I brought this to Instagram, and I certainly was having some discourse in the DMs about it. And I obviously think Lala is a hypocrite. Lala set the standards when she was breaking up with Rand. If you're friends with Rand, you're not friends with me. But that is the point of reality television. Hypocrites, changing your opinion, being forced to sort of like put out your life for public consumption. And Ariana has never done that. As someone who has watched the show from the get-go, didn't just jump on the bandwagon, I'm telling you, Ariana brings simply nothing to the show. And I watch the show. I watch the after show as well. And I listen to podcasts about it. Because we love what we love, baby. I'm really sorry I said that. The baby at the end was too much. But Ariana has never been front and center. She just kind of co-signed everything with Tom Sandoval. You can't convince me that their relationship was in a good space. I'm sure they had understandings or whatever. I'm not defending Tom Sandoval. He's always been a pile of trash. And he cheated on Kristen with Ariana at the Golden Nugget. So let's just like all not pretend about that. So he has a history of that. But yeah, Ariana has never been front and center. So for her to be thrust into the front and center and provide simply nothing except for walking away from Tom Sandoval at the end of the season to go to Applebee's with her friends, couldn't care less. It just wasn't interesting enough for reality TV. But what's happening online, I find, which is really interesting, is the discourse is like, she doesn't need to talk to him and she doesn't need to, and that's a boundary. And it's like, yeah, of course, great for real life. But now, because of these boundaries, the show's done. The show's done. And so what we're looking at is Sheena and Lala being pissed that she's not helping them save this show. I'm not saying that Sheena and Lala are perfect, wonderful people, but they're seeing the writing on the wall here. And I'm not going to pretend that Ariana is a Broadway star, because Sutton Foster, she is not. I've seen the clips. But so if she thinks she's going to go off to this big, huge career, like I wish her well and go for it. But she thinks she's on to the bigger, better. But Lala and Sheena and Katie and everyone else is like, okay, well, we're here on the show and we're trying to like make it work. So we have to talk to Sandoval. We have to engage with him. We have to keep interacting with each other to keep the show afloat. So watching the reunion, I feel like that's what they were all really arguing about. And when Lala was calling out Katie, it was like, yeah, girl, you also shit talk Ariana because she doesn't care about the sandwich shop and you're annoyed and she's not even really friends with you. Cause I won't believe for a second that Katie and Ariana are friends. No, they're not. Katie's on a journey. But yeah, I know that's a hard take. I know everyone's team Ariana, and obviously I'm team Ariana when it comes to like her setting boundaries and all of those things. And it's like, you're entitled to do that, but you shouldn't be on the show. Because now it's boring and it's lame and it's dumb and it's not like the best it's ever been. You know what I mean? So that's scary to admit because anyone who does that truly gets slam-a-lammed. But I'm open to the discourse. And again, if you're going to write a comment, I'm not talking about real life people. I'm talking about the show as I fix my bun. So it's a bummer. I think Vanderpump is done completely and utterly. There's no way, like, unless like I think Ariana would need to leave. And I think Tom Schwartz would need to let his lip filler rest. I believe he got a lip flip. I can't look away. His mouth is wild. I've never seen his front lip so forced upon us as viewers. So I'm not loving that. I don't know what's going on with Schwartz, but let me know your thoughts on that. It's really annoying to see it go down that way. And I really do think Lala, like, you know, at some point you're like, Lala, okay, enough with that. But she did make some really great points. And I'm glad she called out Katie because Katie's just always been a follower. I will agree, Katie has never looked better. I love her hair. And God damn it, she wanted that sandwich shop so bad. And I'm so glad it's open and they're never there. I can imagine opening a business and never being there. Never being there. I'm looking at a lot of the reviews and I'm seeing the breads. The breads are not looking fresh. Now, I'm not there. I've listened to some podcasts with some reviews about the bread and the sandwiches and mixed reviews, but good for them. But that's my take on Vanderpump. Okay, let's talk about the Valley. Now, when I first heard about the Valley, I was like, who, what, where? I don't think so. But I'm telling you, the Valley is so good. And it's so good because everyone knows what they're there to do. Everyone. Jax, Brittany, Kristen, okay? Jasmine. Oh my God, what's the one guy's name? Tyler? Is it Tyler? I have to get all their names because I truly do forget some of them. But they're new friends and we're just getting to know them, you know? The Valley is so good. It is a Vanderpump Rules spinoff. And okay, we've got Danny, Jax, Jason, Jesse. There's so many people I wanted. Zach. I don't know why I call him Tyler. I didn't know what to think about the Valley. Like when I heard about it, I was like, okay, like who truly cares about them being like families in the Valley, like having kids? I was wrong. So much has happened. First of all, Jax and Brittany separated. Okay, we have another divorce with Jesse and, oh gosh, what's her name? Michelle. Okay, so we've got Jax and Brittany divorcing. We know that. Like Brittany's like living in a different house. We have Jesse and Michelle get divorced. We have Kristen being Kristen. And the drama is thick. Janet is one of the women on the show. She was involved with a lot of the Vanderpump people and has been friends with them forever and knows all the same people. And she's a messy little bitch as well. And she's pregnant. And we love that because she's like extra messy and no one can say anything. And it's great. Jax and Brittany could not be more toxic and brutal, which is really hard to watch. But this show brings it. These are people that are laying it all on the line. They're all trash. They're all trash. We've got Nia and Danny. They're like, I believe Christian, and she just had twins. She's dealing with postpartum, and then there's sort of a darkness with her husband Danny we're sort of unpacking, but it is trashy trash, and it is good, good, good. Kristen is on fire this season in the way that it is so chaotic and so messy. And she's like in her 40s wanting to get pregnant immediately with a man that she just met from Colorado who does not want to move to LA and keeps telling her that. And yet she keeps building a life for them in a apartment in the valley that has a fridge in the living room. You can't make it up. You know, there's 6 dogs in there. And I believe she had a white wine spritzer in a Yeti cup while going to therapy. So it is giving you what you need this summer, and it is a must. Now, if you thought Vanderpump Rules, you were like, oh, too much. Don't watch The Valley. It's not for you. Again, like I said, if the drama and the yelling is all too much, get yourself a Below Deck franchise. You're going to have a good old time. Below Deck's going to get you there in a way that's delicious. I just got back on the Below Deck train. It's treating me well. I will say I struggle. Like if I'm on a kick of it, I'll I'll just stream a bunch of them in a row. I'll just, back to back. But I don't find myself like to it, But I do love Below Deck. They're also fun on there. And if you need a little palate cleanser from a tough season, you can go to that. Another show I would highly, highly recommend this season, and I can't believe I'm going to say it because I thought I was done with the program, quite honestly, and that is Summer House. Summer House this season has brought it in a way that is really doing it for me. It's really scratching an itch. I started watching Summer House during the first season, frankly, when it was a Vanderpump spinoff. There was like a spinoff episode where like the girls from Vanderpump go to Montauk and party with this cast. I don't know how they were friends. I think it was a bit of a stretch regardless. And then I've watched Summer House ever since. But it soon became a house of casting, meaning like they weren't all really friends. It all felt a little strange. There were some real weird mixes of people that you knew were not really close. But now it's been on long enough now that they've developed real friendships. And the new additions this season are awesome. And Carl and his new veneers break up with Lindsay like a couple of weeks before their wedding. And now Lindsay is like, I didn't see it coming. Oh gosh. And it was revealed that they had broken up before the season ended. So we're all in anticipation to when will the breakup happen. And we get to watch the whole summer where, my God, it couldn't be more toxic. So it's a great, great season. If you haven't been watching it, get your little ass to Hey You or however you consume the media and get into it. I will say, a lot of the blogs and things and Instagrams and podcasts that I listen to are like, are you team Carl or are you team Lindsay? I think they're both brutal, quite honestly. I think Carl, there's like a repression there. Like he's really focused on the way that he comes off. So it doesn't ever feel real or authentic or true. Like it just, you don't really see his real opinions. Lindsay will never take accountability for her behavior, never has, never will. And so I'm not really surprised at her retelling of the situation of her and Carl. I guess they'd been together a year and they haven't really had any sex and they fight all the time. So I can't imagine either were having a good time. So I don't really know why they wanted to get married or kept making up. And by making up, I'm sure it was just like a business handshake. Like, I don't get it. But it was a good season. Hey, everyone. I just had to go on a bit of a pause as my credit card was, it was compromised. And I certainly did get a call. But we're back now. Hey, if you do that to people's credit cards, stop doing that. Get a hobby, Get into rug making or something. That's really getting me going these days. Isn't that always just such a sweaty little mess when someone steals your banking information? And then they always buy the wildest stuff. Wildest stuff with it. Anyways, we're back. Let's proceed. So we're talking about Summer House. I will say this, if you watch Summer House, the one thing that I find a little wild is that the Paige and Craig of it all. She's dating Craig from Southern Charm, who's looking so good. I mean, wow, Craig is really so delicious and amazing. But there's a lot of pressure on them to, like someone's gonna have to move to Charleston or someone's gonna have to move to New York. And I feel like this season they got a little pause from that drama. But I'm curious about how that relationship will sort of suss out. Also, there was a real big discourse around West and Sierra because they were kind of like feeling each other all summer, but then they never slept together. But then she was mad at West because he then goes, oh, I don't really want a relationship. And anyways, it's all real fun in high school, you know, and it feels like you're back in college having these debates. But the Craig and Lindsay, Craig, I'm really in a tizzy now from the credit card of it all. It's really gotten me into a tizzy. I don't know how people like move on after something like that. Like if I have to talk to the bank, I'm like, oh, I need a McFlurry after. Like I need a treat. I need a Dairy Queen Blizzard because I had to like put on my big girl pants. Also, I don't know if anyone else is like this. I have to get better at checking statements. Like there's nothing more embarrassing when you're like going through or get a call from your bank and your bank's like, hey, we noticed this. I'm sure you noticed it too. And you're like, yes, I did, Diane. My gosh, thank you so much. Like, no, I didn't notice it because I'm irresponsible. So now I have something to bring up in therapy. Okay. Shame spiral of not checking out my statements. There's just something about the numbers that make me sad. And I know we have to grow up. I know we have to grow up and look at them. And I know we have to do our taxes on time. And I know that. And I'm hopefully going to get on that and become that. Hopefully. Okay. I'm obviously in a tizzy beyond about the credit card, so we will probably end it here, but I did want to talk about just a couple of little products. Next episode, I'm really going to get into the new regime, but just a couple of things that are really helping me out these days. One thing is I have the New Face, which is a microcurrent tool. Now, I, by accident, put it on high and used the hyaluronic gel that comes with it and really, oh God, it felt like I had snapped a million rubber bands onto my face. So please be careful of that. Some capillaries were busted, okay? And it took a while for my skin to calm down. So I'm not doing that again. However, I've avoided the New Face until some friends of mine got me on this tip, which now I'm going to share with y'all. And that is aloe vera gel. For your New Face, instead of buying the overpriced hyaluronic gel that comes with the New Face. It's a big debate if the New Face versus the Zip. The Zip is just like a little kind of rectangular thing that you go over your face with that people really love. I have the New Face Travel. I had a makeup artist tell me recently that she had heard that the full on New Face, the full Big Daddy microcurrent actually does more harm than good, which gives me pause to keep using the travel one, but she assured me the travel one was fine. And she also recommended that I'm probably getting red from the New Face because of the hyaluronic acid gel that's causing irritation. And you know what? She's 100% right. Every time I put it on, it tingled, it hurt. And so she was like, use aloe vera gel. And so I bought it. And we're back, baby. We are back. Low microcurrent. I love it. It is an indulgent spend. I already have the LED mask. You know that I love that so truly, madly, deeply. I love my Omnilux. I'm thinking about getting the neck one. And I know that my selling point for the Omnilux is that it's silicone and it can bend and you can put it on your neck. However, I'm like, do I just save up and then have the decadence of doing my face and neck at the same time? It's in the cart. I won't lie to you here. The neck mask is in the cart. Okay. I also want to talk about, so the New Face is now back in. I do it all up the jowls because I told you I fear the jowls are melting, and into the cheekbones. And the aloe vera is really quite something, and my face does not get red. So I'm really loving that. What else can I tell you? As always, I'm always going to tell you about the Tower 28 Rescue Spray. I'm using that thing all summer long. Okay. I'm going to the gym. I'm spraying it right after. Keeping it good. I also want to talk about this. Now, This may be too early to discuss. However, I was convinced to get the Paula's Choice azelaic acid. It's a little serum, and if you have really red skin, which I do, they say that it really helps, and I'm noticing. I'm going to keep you abreast. I wouldn't say that this is a full recommendation, but I'm telling you, I'm liking what I'm seeing with the azelaic acid. And if you've got red skin, I know how hard it is in the summer because we're not going to cake on the foundation to then sweat it off and reveal blush and our redness. Okay. And I always think the most beautiful look in the summer is just good skin and a little bit of mascara and a little blush. You know, we're not doing full foundation. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with the azelaic acid. And it's only been a couple of weeks. So this is I'm dipping a toe and I'm liking the temperature of the water is what I'm saying. Any other product? Oh, you've got to get into this. In the whimsy of an evening, purchased the Crocs, the Platform Dylan, I think it's Platform Dylan Crocs. They're incredible. I put it on TikTok. I got the people talking. I love those freaking platforms. I wear them around Toronto. You know, I've had clogs before, heeled clogs, wooden clogs, and I had a tremendous fall in front of very hot young people who went, oh God, fell right on my knees like I was at recess. Tough, humbling. These, no. Comfortable as all hell. They did get a little sweaty, but not to the point of like blistering or uncomfortable, but like it's the summer. Like what are we asking it to do? You know, it's sort of a very comfortable plastic shoe. There's a lot of bend. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of comfort. I would wear those babies to a concert, maybe not on the lawn, but I wouldn't wear any platform shoe in uneven grass. What are we asking the world for here? But if you're looking for like a little pop of fun or like a little elevation, get yourself a goddamn platform Croc. I went up a size. I'm usually 7.5, and I went to 8. Fits great. I have like a thin foot. Hate to brag. Hate to get everyone going on that one. But oh my God, do I love the Croc. I put on a jean, I put on a long blouse, oversized. You know my struggle with that. It looks good until the side hits, and then I sort of look like someone who's playing around underneath a sheet, you know, but my long oversized button shirt, a jean, and the Crocs, you can't tell me anything. I thought they were red. They're orange, but we're going with it. We're still having fun. And I think I'm going to buy the black ones. I think I might. I'm on the fence. If Croc comes out with like a little coupon or something, I might just give myself the treat. But get yourself a platform Croc. Again, it is the summer. It's going to be a little sweaty, but I've already walked so much in the city with those things, and not a blister in sight and not an uncomfortable step ever taken. Okay. So those are my quick little recommendations. We'll get into them more and more as the seasons of Indulge Me continue. Again, I'm so excited to be back. I really, really miss this. If you have anything you want to talk about, if you have any subjects you want me to talk about, let me know. And of course, if you have any like products, questions, however, you can message me down below if you're watching on YouTube, or on Instagram, get in the DMs. We're in there. We're conversating. We're loving it. I hope you're listening to this with air conditioning and a beautiful beverage. I hope there's ice in it. Oh, I hope there's ice. I can't wait to chat with you next week. Can you believe? So I'll see you then. Bye.